ツマンおじ今日のニュースを読みます。BBC Lower clothing and food prices helped inflation fall by more than expected. Falls in food and alcohol and clothing prices last month helped drive inflation to its lowest level in 8 months in November. The inflation rate fell to 3.2% from the 3.6%, a large fall than analysts expected. Lower food prices were the main driver of the fall, with decreases seen particularly for cakes, biscuits, and breakfast cereals, according to Officer for National Strategic ONS Chief Economist Grant Fitzgerald. It came ahead of the Bank of England decision on interest rates on Thursday, with a cut widely expected. The fall in inflation will foster hope that inflation has peaked, with this possible paving the way for further interest rate cut next year. Other items which also pushed down inflation were the cost of tobacco, restaurant meals, and hotel stay, furniture, and transport. Prices are still rising on average across the economy, but there are decreases in some items between October and November. Food prices, which were the biggest driver of the lower inflation figure, fell month on month, bucking a trend for normally rising at this time of the year. Between October and November, food prices fell by 0.22 of a percentage point and increased 4.2% in the year to November, a decrease on the 4.9% in the year to October. Chancellor Rachel Reeves said she knew the families across Britain will welcome this fall in inflation. Getting bills down is my top priority. That is why I froze rail fares and prescription fees and cut £150 off average energy bills at the budget this year, she said. Inflation in the UK is a measure of the Consumer Price Index, which is a basket of goods and services selected by the ONS, which included things like bread, fruit, and different items of clothing. The fall in inflation triggered a sell-off in the pound, with it falling 0.7% against the dollar. Elisa Heath, a member of Rand of Bakers Collective in Camberwell, said a month of higher prices had influenced her choice of ingredients. The group met every couple of months to share things they have baked. Your typical items like flour and sugar were still pretty easy to justify, she said, but when you get to things like nuts, dairy, or if you want any adventurous ingredient to add, those are lots more expensive and you find yourself reaching for them less and less. Falling food price inflation. While food inflation has slowed, the prices are still rising, and there is a mixed picture for some popular Christmas items. Beef prices are up 27.7% compared with this time last year, with big rises for chocolate 17.3%, milk 14.8%, and coffee 14.5%, according to the data. There are, however, drops in the price of olive oil, minus 16.2%, flour, minus 6.1%, and pasta minus 4.2%. Other festive staples like cheese, potatoes, and poultry saw small changes in their prices. Black Friday discounts were heavier this year, which helped average clothing and footwear prices stay low in November. Sarah Cole, head of personal finance with Hargreaves Lansdown, said. Sluggish sales persuade retailers that they have to work hard to get people through the doors, so discounts were heavier this year, particularly for women's clothing and shoes. Danny Hewson, AJ Bell, head of finance analysis, said, as Christmas gifts go, this is a most welcome one. It's time of year when the people put a few more things in their supermarket trolley. So I knew the food and alcohol inflation has fallen will be a boon for cash-strapped families. She added that it must be noticed the falling inflation does not mean the cost of living is getting cheaper, and that many households are still reeling from the impact of the mega price hike they have endured over the past few years. 以上です。